Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Alex, the Comic Hoarder. Thank you so much for clicking play on this video. In this video, I'm going to show you 5 big Marvel Silver Age key issues. Some of these are foundational comic books that I got at the Big River Comic Con in Hannibal, Missouri a few weeks ago. These are really cool books. Excited to add them to the collection. Hopefully you guys are excited. Here we go. All right, a few weeks ago, it was the Big River Comic Con in Hannibal, Missouri. Tom Nguyen was there, Tom Nguyen, a comic book inker for DC, and he did some work for Marvel. Fantastic artist. I will show you some of the stuff that I got from him, as well as show you some footage in another video. I didn't want to do that for this video. This is foundational comic books. As we all know, foundational comic books are universally recognized. So any dealer, any collector should be able to look at these books and recognize them and know what they are, or at least recognize them for being something. Now, foundational comic books will increase the overall value of your collection. They'll increase the overall appearance of your collection. Just by having these in your collection, it's going to be a cooler collection. Now, not every single one of these is foundational. Some of these are just Silver Age key issues. You will definitely see that some of these are foundational for sure. So without further ado, I'm going to show you some of these books. But before we do that, I want to ask that if you're brand new to the channel, hit that subscription button, hit that bell to be notified when there's future videos. Also, if you guys throughout the video could hit that thumbs up, would really appreciate it. And then comment down below what you think about these books. Which ones are foundational? Which ones are just cool Silver Age comics? And then how many do you have in your collection? The first one up is a really, really nice copy. First appearance and origin of him in Cameo. Him later becomes Adam Warlock or just Warlock. This is a really nice, I called it 8.0 to 8.5. I pressed this comic book and it looks spectacular. I do have it in Mylar, so it's in high definition as well. I would call this in the raw condition still about a $50 to $60 comic. Very affordable, really nice key issue, but then in graded 8.0, about $140 to $150 comic book. First appearance of him. Him is still in the MCU, but once again, foundational comic books are not foundational because of movie hype or speculation. They are forever keys. Even though Adam Warlock or him or just Warlock is in the movies in the MCU still, doesn't mean that this comic book is cooler or makes it more foundational than other books. This is just a forever key. And I would definitely call this a foundational comic book. If you're a comic book collector, you should know what this key is. Here is another very significant comic book. This is Tales of Suspense number 48. This is actually the first appearance of the traditional, or what we know as the Iron Man armor, the red and gold Iron Man armor. Before that, it was silver, and then it turned to gold, and then in issue 48, it turned to the red and gold that we all kind of know today. I graded this one at a 2.5. It is pretty rough. It presents pretty nicely, but it does have a lot of folds, some scuffing, some color loss, lots of folds going in different directions. Now, I did press all of these before I put them to Mylar so that they can go into the collection and be nice and ready to go. And then I cold pressed them for several days. So after I pressed one, I'd put it under, it's a funny story. I put them under some weights, we'll say for now. And then maybe in a short video in the future, I'll show you what those weights are. It's got a lot. This one did have a little bit of a spine roll, but I corrected that and it looks pretty nice. In this condition, I would still call this an $80 to $100 book. It is still very desirable. And this, once again, is a foundational comic book. Any dealer, any collector, whether you've been collecting for a long time or you've been collecting for a very short time, you should be able to recognize this comic book. To me, this is the Incredible Hulk number 2 of Iron Man keys. So Incredible Hulk number 1, he was gray. Incredible Hulk number 2, he turns green and is more what we know of today as the Incredible Hulk. In Tales of Suspense 39, Iron Man was silver, and then he turned to gold a few issues later, maybe even 1 or 2 issues later. And then in issue 48, the traditional what we know of. So this is like the when he turns into what we recognize today. So $80 to $100 book for sure. Definitely a foundational comic book. Oh, and if you're wondering what I paid for these, I got these all, except for the very last one. I got the first 4 from a dealer that just kind of lost his mind. And he didn't want to bring any books home. So I was the first collector over to his booth. Other dealers started funneling in really, really quick, left their booths to go over to this booth. and start digging. Several, $100 books going for $50. He had $100 books going for $50. He had other $100 books, $50 books going for $10. So I got really, really good deals on a lot of these books and really happy to add them to the collection. The next one up looks really, really nice. It does have a couple panels cut out, and I didn't know that, but the price was right. So I'm going to call this a qualified grade. This is Avengers number 11. It's a very early appearance of Spider-Man. As you can see, he looks more like a luchador. Like his mask looks like a luchador instead of what we know as Spider-Man. Really early crossover with Spider-Man and the Avengers. And like I said, early appearance of Spider-Man. I would call this a 4.5 qualified because the panels that were cut out in an ad page do not affect the story whatsoever. It was like an in-house ad where it was showing other comic books in the Marvel lineup, and someone cut out like this comic book cover and cut out this comic book cover, and the other side was an ad page. So it doesn't affect the story at all, but it's about a 4.5 qualified just because this is a pretty nice looking copy of this book. Even in this condition, I would still call this probably about a $30 to $40 book because if it were nicer, it would be in much higher demand. In command, probably $60 to $80 in this condition. So either way, really, really nice book. Unfortunately, it has some cutouts. I know that it looks really great in the Mylar. It doesn't affect the story, which is really what we care about as well. The next book up is a little bit lower grade as well. This is Tales to Astonish, number 49. I called this about a 2.5, maybe 3.0. On a good day, it's complete. No issues on the inside. It just has a little bit of a spine split here, a little bit of loss right there as well. But other than that, pressed out really nice. It's got some paper loss here and just the slightest Marvel chipping around the top. As you can see, it kind of blends in with the color, being that the cover is kind of this muted background color. Being that this is the first appearance of Giant Man, I would call this book, this has always been a well-respected key. Even in this condition, 2.5 to 3.0, I would call this a $50 book. Is this one foundational? I don't know. Is that Avengers number 11 foundational? I'm not sure. I don't know if everyone, recognizes these as big keys, but they're definitely Silver Age keys. Maybe not as much as the Fantastic Four or the Tales of Suspense as far as being foundational comic books. But this next book, the last book, is 100% a foundational comic book. If you don't know this, do some more research. Make sure that you know what this last book is because it is definitely a forever key. It's in some people's top 10s. This is a book that you should definitely know about. I think you would also call this one a foundational comic book. The last book up is Fantastic Four, number 52. I've owned this book once again several times, and I'm happy to have this one back in the collection. Thank goodness. I traded for this one from Bruce Reynolds, really great dealer out of the St. Louis area. So happy to have been able to trade him for this book, got some cash, and then got a slab from him as well. And I'll show some of the slabs that I got from this con in a future video for sure. There's going to be several videos from this one. And then back to the auction. I've got more books from the auction for sure. Really, really cool books from the auction. I'm excited about pressing some of those books as well. This book is about a 4.5 to 5.0. And in that condition, even raw, $250 to $300. Beyond that, I think he had a $500 price tag on it. I think that's more for like a graded condition copy, like similar condition copy. So about 4.5 to 5.0, maybe $500-$600. But I would think in this grade, 4.5 to 5.0, mid-grade would be $250 to $300. First appearance of Black Panther. This book is awesome. Any of these really keys in the Fantastic Four, 48, 49, 50, 52, 51 is a really, this monster, really, really great key. And then some of the lower numbers as well are keys. But this one's definitely a foundational comic book, a forever key. And what do you guys think? This book is awesome. Really, really happy to have first appearance of Black Panther back in the collection. Even when I was collecting Golden Age comics, I was like, thank goodness that Fantastic Four number 52 isn't going crazy. You can get a really, really nice copy for $1,000 or less. And I think that for such an important character, such an important book is still a steal of a deal for this character. So let me know what you guys think. Even like I said, even when I was collecting Golden Age, I still wanted to get another copy of this book back in the collection. I think it's really, really special. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. That's it for now. If you're not already subscribed, hit that subscription button. Welcome to the channel if you're brand new. Hit that bell to be notified when there's future videos. Also, if you could hit that thumbs up, would really appreciate that. Would love to see over 200 likes on this video. Like goal of over 200 if you could. And then comment down below what you thought of these books. Hopefully you guys are doing well, and I will talk to you all on the next one. See you. Bye.